This is a test of the emergency IDS broadcast system. This is only a test. Ha ha ha! Woo! Got you. Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, the perfect podcast for people with nothing better to do. Now, here are your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hello, everybody. I am Darin.
I am Mike.
And this is Irritable Dad Syndrome, and hard to believe, but this is episode 40.
40.
40.
4 tens.
I know, right? Well, that's 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, math is hard.
It's 40 episodes, which means 12 more,
and then
we're at our anniversary.
Yeah, and we've been scouring through previous episodes, trying to find our favorite clips. I know I sent you along. I rattled off
Thank you for
like
that.
200.
Well, Bess is actually listening to a few every once in a while,
Right?
And she will send an LOL at this,
Okay.
and then I send right back, what episode is that from?
Right.
So I can collect those.
Yeah, we're asking people if you have a favorite memory of the show to let us know, and we're putting together a best of episode that we haven't decided, is it going to be the last episode of the year or the first episode, like episode 53?
I think it should be episode 52.
Okay.
But the question is, do we make it like an entire clip show, or do we do one of those things where it's like, hey, you remember the time back when, and then we push the button, and it's like, got a commode with a frog in it, and we tell that story.
We could do like what Bob and Tom do, have more of the best of Irritable Dad Syndrome coming up, and then have Dave Lay announce the favorite clips, and then you and I just do nothing.
Yeah. I like that. Send all the clips to Dave Lay.
Yeah.
Say, have at it.
Just send him what he needs to say.
I want to make it the most jacked thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, because I'd have to cut the audio out of each episode. That's going to be some work. All right.
Yeah, we totally set ourselves up for trouble here.
Yeah.
Before we go on, I want to make an apology.
It's about time.
Last week, we were talking about Weezer, and I was talking about Weezer and their big W being at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the skit on Saturday Night Live. That was hilarious. And I said, I don't know, the lead singer, I called him Mike Weezer. Well, his name is Rivers Cuomo. I did some research. I went on the Google. His name is Rivers Cuomo. He was born June 13, 1970. So he's 3 days younger than I am.
Is he related to Perry Cuomo or Andrew Cuomo?
I don't know. I'm going to say no to Perry, possible to the second one.
Okay.
But anyway, so I called him Mike Weezer. That's not his name. Yeah. And so to Rivers, to the former and all the other band members of Weezer, to their family and their fans, I apologize. I don't mean any offense, and I hope that you will accept my apology and we can move on. Thank you.
I want to officially say I don't care. I actually like the fact that they potentially got offended. If Mike,
that'd be awesome.
Hold on. If Michael Weezer hears this episode, or I want him to hear the last episode and send us hate mail.
Yeah.
You know, and like, who the hell do you think you are? My name's Perry Cuomo, whatever the hell his name.
Rivers Cuomo.
Rivers Cuomo.
He's a very talented songwriter, guitarist. He plays keyboards.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
The Weezer Blue album is very good.
Okay,
Ratitude is good.
The best thing about Weezer was that Matt Damon skit.
That was something
hands down.
That was amazing.
Pardon me, but burn in hell.
Burn in hell. Yeah. So anyway, apologies to Weezer. Our show got 2,000 downloads.
Holy shnikey.
We hit the 2,000 download mark. That's
amazing. That's a big deal for us.
Confetti
and,
fireworks.
So you guys don't see all the machinations behind the scene, but we've been...
The what?
Exactly. We've been steadily adding downloads. Like, we've been getting more and more as they go.
We've been getting a lot more per week. We used to be getting like 50, 60 a week.
Yeah.
The last 2-3 weeks, we've had almost 100 a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was telling Bess, we're in 19 countries. And the last time I looked, which was about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, I don't know how long I've been down here, 248 separate cities in the world.
Yeah, we're
not just the United States.
The podcast is, honest to God, international.
International.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is. And which means there's so many people that accidentally clicked this thing. One of which is the guy from South Africa that thought it was an IBS. Because every once in a while I'll go back, like I miss So we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We want to be on Pinterest. I'm going to do that. I think we have to make a quilt.
I love how you're like, we really want to be on Pinterest. It's not hard. It's free.
Well, yeah. Don't you have to have a quilt or make one of those ghosts out of a tissue and a ball with a thing? You have to do something, like some kind of craft.
Like needlepoint.
Make a podcast
macrame.
Out of popsicle sticks.
Yeah, do
glue
like
some
a macaroni
on your dog's head.
Jinx.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So, so every once in a while, I'll go back through old Facebook messages, and those messages from that guy
still there.
I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's fine, but he seemed to really be interested in our thoughts about, if I recall right, farting while walking.
Why do I fart while I walk?
And he wanted to know what types of supplements to take to prevent some kind of gaseous pain.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that question.
Yeah.
I think you're making that up.
No, go look. Okay. Next time you're on there, go look. He asked some because it was after I gave you the cease and desist order. It's like, Darin, this is not an irritable dad syndrome.
You act like I had an ongoing back and forth with him for hours when I think I replied twice.
He was days.
Twice. It was not days. This conversation we're having is going on.
He
for
wrote
days.
something about pain in his abdomen or something like that, and you said, "Hey, thanks for listening to the show. What's your favorite part?" And he says, I fart when I walk." And you said, "That's crazy."
Well, that's not what I said. And I definitely didn't go, okay, because you would have edited that out. Every time I make noises like that, you edit it out. Darin, you're being too insensitive to our listeners.
Like the horn thingy. You are.
Our horn thingy.
Our horn thingy. Sounds like the clowns, bozo.
Yeah.
That's
22 clowns in one car.
This podcast can't afford a horn.
No.
So we just do that.
I don't want a horn because I'm afraid I wouldn't stop honking it. I have a problem with horns.
I want an air horn.
There's your title for the show. I have a problem with horns. So anyway, congratulations to us. We have 2,000 downloads.
And to celebrate, we're going to Cleveland.
We are going to Cleveland, Ohio.
We've been invited.
End of October.
We've been invited. We've been invited to see Gojira. We've been invited by Gojira to go see them. And we've agreed to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the next day.
We've been invited in a way that they are performing, and they release tickets to the public.
I got an email from Gojira Productions or whatever that said...
Mike Gojira?
Mike Gojira that said, "We're playing a show. Would you like to go?" And I said, yes. And it said, if you give me money, then you can go.
Okay, so it is special.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is right there.
Yeah.
And clearly they're going to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So they've already invited us to Cleveland. I have the email to prove it. And then, they want us to join them at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Naturally. Why wouldn't they?
No.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And share a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame hot dog with Gojira.
$13 hot dog.
With Mike and Randy Gojira.
The Gojira brothers.
The Gojira brothers.
So you think the Gojira brothers will have a big fight with each other?
I think what I'm hoping,
because I hear they can't stand each other.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, and I'm hoping that they get somebody. They get one of us to play cowbell for them on their next.
Well,
album.
I have 3 cowbells.
They've got a mouth harp on the new album. I don't know if you've listened, but the song Amazonia has a and then it goes, and you're thinking, what did I? Am I listening to? Is this Dukes of Hazzard or Beverly Hillbillies? And all of a sudden it goes. It's like, Gojira. He doesn't sing like that. He's very good with his anger.
Okay.
He's very good with his anger. What happened?
For the people who are on the fence,
yeah.
Should we go to Cleveland? Should we not? I think they made their decision.
I think they did.
Pretty sure they decided.
Yep.
So anyway, it's end of October.
Yes.
We're going to be at the Gojira concert in Cleveland.
Yes.
And then we're going to be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the next day. So come on out.
Yeah.
You can meet us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll greet you. We will sign autographs, so we will take pictures.
Yeah.
And it'll be the best thing that's ever happened to you as far as meeting people from a podcast.
You could get a picture with me next to a U2 item.
Right.
How priceless would that be?
I know. Well, I mean, you could get a picture with me, too.
Yeah.
I love the way it's like, come on out and meet Mike Odell.
No.
And Darin's going to be here, too.
I'm saying I'll be by the U2 thing. To do. And then they'll get a picture of you next to...
Go ahead.
I don't know, Randy Moss. Who's your Is he a
Randy Moss?
Is that he's
who
not
the,
a he's
who the hell is Randy Moss?
He's a football player.
I was gonna say, why is he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I was thinking of Randy from South Park, but that's who's that Randy? What's his name? I don't know what the hell happened. They can get a picture of me with you too, Stan Marsh.
Marsh,
and they can get a picture of you with Billy Idol. Is Billy Idol in the
Billy
Hall of
Idol
Fame?
is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
But I'll take my picture in front of people in front of the Kiss.
Well, they can get a picture with me and
you and
Pearl
me.
Jam.
Yes,
and
there you go.
Me and Rush.
They're
in it.
Yeah,
and they get a picture of you and
in front of the John Mellencamp.
Is Pink Floyd in the?
Yeah, they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
All right,
of course they are.
You're not really known for liking Pink Floyd.
I like Pink Floyd. I've told you that.
Tool's not in there.
No, they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay. Is Rage Against the Machine in there?
No, they've been nominated twice and they've not gotten in twice. Okay. I know. So, but anyway, that's the end of October.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm dehydrated. I think that's my brain's not working correctly tonight.
We have been asking people to send reviews in for the show.
Yeah.
And Chris Michael, big fan of the show.
Yeah, he is.
He is. He has listened to all 39 episodes, and I'm certain.
Has he really listened to every episode?
He has listened to every single episode.
Yeah.
Him, what's that guy's name that we banned from the show who I don't care to remember? That guy, Stump Woodley, has listened to every episode of the show. Yeah. So we have a handful of fans who've listened to every episode that we know.
Yeah.
Now, our guy in France may listen to every episode. Our person in Nevada who downloaded every episode last week.
They could.
She may have listened to.
I found a fan on Podbean.
Yeah.
That has followed us. And about every week or so, they download 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And leave little reviews. And
wait, they've been leaving reviews?
Ratings, not reviews, ratings, like 5-star ratings.
Okay.
And every episode that they've listened to of ours has gotten a 5-star rating except for one. Do you want to guess which one it is?
Is it the it's not the Halloween episode.
It is the Halloween episode. The Halloween episode got 4 stars.
Oh.
And that's about 4 stars too many. I had fun. I don't care if the listeners had fun.
In theory, it was a good idea. I mean, Halloween was coming up.
Yeah.
We're not crazy.
What are you going to do at Halloween anyway?
Yeah.
Watch Halloween for the
100th time.
Unironically for the 15th time. Like you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. So anyway, we've been asking our fans to leave reviews, and Chris Michael left us a review. And like I said, I will read these on air. And this is a great review. I have not heard
this one.
So you will quack up. Creative. Yeah. So he says, whether you're a newly irritable dad, an irritable mom, or some other thing, you'll find a lot to like about this podcast about anything and everything.
Nice. Nice.
Marvel fan? Come on in.
Whoa.
Tool to do rag? You're in good company. Looking for a good wallpaper remover? They have you covered. Yeah. I just wish it hadn't taken a global pandemic for Mike and Darin to start this podcast.
Look at that.
There you go. That's Chris Michael, thank you so much for the review. Michael. And if you want to send in a review for the podcast, send it in and we will read it on the air. Chris, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Really cool.
We got a...
So you see what happens, other listeners? You see what happens when someone's nice?
Yeah.
And they listen to us?
You scratch my back, I scratch your back.
It only took 39 requests. But he said...
That's our second review. Because Andrew Gibbons... He got a little pissy with me. He said, hey, I sent a review week 2. Don't lump me into the rest of these losers.
So,
and I'm like, fair enough.
So when this reaches its inevitable conclusion... and one of us gets sick of the other, and we have a big fight on Good Morning America.
Any day now, yeah.
Something happens, and we write the book of Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Right.
And you're looking for history.
Yeah.
That Andrew Gibbons was the first ever review.
And they will interview him. They'll interview Chris Michael, and they'll talk about what went wrong.
Yeah.
And then
there will be
2 hours later,
fold out poster of Chris Hughes on a leopard print bedspread.
Stop. I don't want to see this in my head
with a baby cub. I'm just a baby cub.
God, I don't. Stop. Damn it. Stop. Okay.
Polar bear.
Polar bear rug
with a Coke. A polar bear rug. A baby polar bear on a polar bear rug.
You realize he's just eating this up, right?
He is.
He likes the attention. So we got a question.
Okay.
Pretty good one. It says, Dear Irritable Dad Syndrome, when robots, the good ones that walk and talk, first hit the marketplace, will you or Mike be an early adopter or wait for the later models or angrily scoff at the idea? So the question is, when markets are readily available, you go down to Kroger, walk down the robot aisle, pick up one. Will you buy a robot, or will you go, I don't need no flicking robot?
In my history, I have been, and this is going to surprise you, given everything you're surrounded by, I've been the scoffer of the stuff. When MP3s became a thing, I was like,
yeah,
that's stupid.
You're telling a guy who just bought 3 CDs.
I know, but I'm saying you would listen, you would hear me say that, and you'd be like, "What the hell? You're like always yelling at me about streaming." When games went digital, I was like, "I'm not gonna buy any digital game." And then I'm like a digital guy.
Yeah,
streaming with I'm always like the late adopter and all these things, but once I go in, I go all in.
Yeah,
so I won't buy the first robots,
right?
But by God, when I go all in robots, it's going to be T1000s and T800s all over this house.
Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live. It'll be everywhere.
See, I'm afraid they're going to turn on me. Like everything else.
You know they will.
Everything else on my house is turned on me. The wife, the kids, when I used to have a dog, the dog turned on me.
Live a little.
Everybody liked me at first, and then they all stopped.
Yeah. Have you seen the videos of the little robots that deliver food?
Yeah, don't trust them.
And they've been falling over, and people like pick them up. There's like more videos of people helping the robots.
Yeah.
And then they've got the police dog robot.
Right.
I don't know if that's still being used. Have you seen that?
No, but I saw the episode of Black Mirror.
Okay. No, this is the real thing. It was like just a few, like a month or two ago. And I think I don't know if it's missing.
Yeah.
Something's going on with it.
All I'm saying is watch.
They showed it walking. Like it was like, okay. So when we were kids, and you would go to the store in the 80s, and it would say, "Here's a robot." You get that stupid little windy thing with the feet with the little.
Everybody thought they were getting a cute R2D2 that's adorable, and robots have no souls. So robots will kill you in the blink of an eye if they could blink their eye.
Yeah, so you get this,
but they can't because they're robots.
You get this little crappy wind up robot.
Yeah,
and it would walk on the kitchen floor. Okay, and as soon as it hits carpet, it's done. It's like just put carpet in between you and the robots, and you win the war. That's new ones,
well, unless it's like a C-3PO robot that can actually walk.
Yeah. So then they got like ones with like gyroscopes in them, and they have balance now.
Yeah.
So this dog thing, there's a video of it where they're like shoving it and trying to push it, trying to knock it over, and it's reacting eerily well.
Yeah.
Like you ain't knocking this thing over.
Right.
All you got to do is attach a machine gun to that thing. You've got Ed 209 from RoboCop ready to go.
I know it's got. Well, you see Chopping Mall.
Drop your weapon. You've got 10 seconds to comply.
Yeah, those robot security guards that took over the mall and killed everybody.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You watch one episode of Black Mirror, and you will never buy a robot.
Yeah.
Have you seen Black Mirror?
I haven't seen it.
That show is effed up.
Yeah. I don't know.
Seriously.
It's all fun and games until RoboCop shoots you in the...
Right.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know?
Thank you for your question, Jim.
That came from a question.
Yeah, that was a question.
For robots.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to give an update. I can't remember how many weeks ago it was, but I always say a few weeks ago. We had Michael Flannery as a guest on our show. Michael Flannery is a Cincinnati stand-up comedian. He's a television personality.
He's been one hell of a supporter of our show.
He has. Yeah. He really has. Yeah. And
he hid in my shrubbery
once. You know, he was going to be a guest on our show as soon as we had it. He's like, absolutely. When do you want me to be a guest? And I'll do it. Then he got the COVID. Okay. And he was in the hospital for, oh boy,
a couple of weeks.
The number is going to be wrong. I want to say somewhere between 14 and 20 some days. He was on the ventilator. He was in a coma. It was bad. Yeah. Anyway, he fully recovered. He's been out of the hospital for weeks.
Yeah.
Today, he went back to work.
Oh, well.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
very, very,
awesome.
For the first time, he went back to work. And I'm very happy, very pleased.
That's really cool.
I couldn't be more excited that his recovery keeps going well. And here's one of the great things about this guy. So when everything went lockdown and everybody was working from home and all the bars and restaurants and everything closed, the comedy clubs also closed.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll do something goofy and I'll do the Darin Cox Comedy from Home video special.
Okay.
I shot it in the house and I put it on my Darin Cox comedy page.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a good hook, something. Well, anyway, I asked him, I was like, will you be my special guest on my comedy special? Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. So he does it, right?
Yeah.
And then when I lost the bet with your wife and had to do the comedy show in your backyard, I call up Michael. Will you be my special guest at this backyard comedy special?
Yeah.
Sure. He comes and he does it. So here's the thing. My friend Sandy Powers retired from WLWT.
Okay.
She worked there for 40 years plus.
All right.
Okay.
You posted her picture the other day.
I did.
Yeah.
So she's retiring.
Okay.
And I'm doing her going away video. And since I've done, over the past years, I've done 4 or 5 going away videos for people.
Okay.
And I take a lot of pride in it. And I put a lot of work into it, and I want the people who are retiring to get the going away that they deserve.
Yeah.
So normally I will interview people and ask them, well, what's your favorite thing about this or that, whatever, and put it all together. Yeah. Well, I can't do that now because everybody is working from home. We're not allowed to congregate, and we're not allowed to go into the building and shoot any interviews or anything. So all of the salespeople and participants in the video had to record their videos on their phone.
Oh, I was just saying, their crappy little
and send
Zoom
them
camera
to me
things with the dog in the background.
And it was met with fear and trepidation and blank stares and how am I supposed to do this? And people were emailing me things, and it was just
standing out in the wind like a
quality
hurricane.
was horrible. And anyway, so the video was.
That could be fun, though.
I'm not going to say the video was bad, but the video was very, very, thank you, and we're going to miss you.
Yeah.
It needed something.
Okay.
Right? It needed a little bit of humor there, a little punch in the middle. So I call up Michael Flannery, who doesn't know Sandy. Never met Sandy. Will you record something for this going away video? Sure. And he sends it. And the video was hilarious. And so this guy, he gave me my very first break. My very first professional job doing stand-up comedy. Yeah. He's been a huge supporter of me. He's been a huge supporter of our podcast. Yep. And I just hope that people, whenever they get a chance, they go on Facebook Monday through Friday at 5:00 and watch Know-It-Alls with Michael Flannery and just enjoy every single episode. And Michael, I just want to say, I just wish that you keep getting better and better and better. And thank you for all your support of the show.
Yep. That's a fun show. He's a fun dude.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah. I will never forget. I don't remember what he yelled at my neighbor, but I do remember I almost choked up whatever it was I was eating at the time because it was hilarious.
Yeah. He just starts yelling. I can't remember what he yelled either.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Diff Liquid Concentrated Wallpaper Stripper. With its unique enzyme action, Diff dissolves old paste and cuts wallpaper removal time in half. That's right, half. Imagine all the free time you'll have after stripping wallpaper with Diff. Hell, you could take a walk, go to a movie, or shoot pool with your old buddy that just got out of prison. Your options are unlimited with Diff. Oh, and did I mention that no steamer is needed? It may sound crazy, but it's true. No steamer is needed when removing wallpaper with Diff. Diff is the only one that really works. Look for Diff wherever quality wallpaper stripper is sold. Diff, the official wallpaper stripper of the 2021 Summer Olympic Games.
So, all right. So speaking of yelling, this doesn't have anything to do with yelling.
Okay.
You've got on the list here, Andrew is loud. So we need to discuss this.
Okay.
So my older son, Andrew, doesn't seem to understand that sound travels. Okay. Now when I was growing up, if I made any sound, I'm waking people up.
Right.
And it's like, what are you doing still up? You need to go to bed. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So I learned, I grew up like a ninja at night because I would still stay up.
Yeah.
But I knew where to step without creaking. I knew how to shut the cupboard, and I'm moving my hand very slow to where it barely tapped.
Right.
And that type of thing. I could eat a bowl of cereal, not Rice Krispies. Because they go snap, crackle, pop.
Right.
But any other cereal, I could eat that while reading a comic book or a video game magazine, which I did, and then go to bed. I would even be quiet in pulling the covers up. When he comes out of his room, it's like he rams into the door every time. It's like, oh, I didn't know I had to turn the thing and then turn the doorknob.
The thing.
So
the
it's
doorknob.
Like, so I'm in bed and I hear boom. and then light floods out. Okay. And he's carrying his iPad. And there's a game. Apparently there's sports on 24/7, or he's watching old things on there.
Yeah, it's called ESPN.
Videos and all that stuff. And so he's doing that, goes to the bathroom, slams the door. He comes out, slams the, toilet flushing, stomping out, slams the door, slams it, whatever. Okay. At night, it's just like almost every night. And I have been down here before, and he's getting cereal, and I thought we were in the middle of a home invasion.
Right.
Because the cupboards swing open and then slam shut. Drop the cereal. Slam the milk down on the thing. Doom, 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 doom. Even Bess is, because I've been complaining about this for about a year now. Bess is like, okay, it's not that loud. And then there was one night me and Bess were laying there, and all of a sudden we were, doom, 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 doom. It's like, my God, the Bigfoot has come. Sasquatch has come.
Yeah. Can I interrupt you for 1 second? You mentioned cereal.
Yeah.
Can your kids open a cereal box?
No, they rip it straight down the middle.
Shred the box. It's like a damn Wolverine busted into the house, and then grab the bag, and it's like they can't open the box.
Yeah.
So I went into the cabinet today, and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch was torn apart at the bottom.
Yeah.
The bag was ripped into pieces.
Yeah.
And he opened it at the bottom, not the part that says this end up.
Yeah. And ignore the thing that says you put the tab in the thing, just rip it straight in half.
It's like if a requirement for getting into college was open a cereal box, my kids would be going to vocational
you would
school.
think after this much time, the cereal boxes are supposed to be rectangular. They're all cylindrical because they've been ripped down the side inside, and the cereal's spilled out. It's like a hernia in there. It's like a cereal hernia inside the box.
Yeah.
It's like, did you notice that the cereal boxes don't all fit up in the pantry like they used to? Now some of them have to be on the counter or on the kitchen table because they don't all fit. It's not like we suddenly got more cereal injected. It's because you're not using the space appropriately.
I'm like that old man on the Progressive commercial who doesn't want people to turn into their parents.
Yeah.
I call the kids down, and I have seminars on how to open the cereal box.
They're like,
you slide your finger. See? It's not torn.
But they don't listen to me.
No, they don't listen to me.
I've done that.
Yeah.
So there's one or two things that happen with the cupboards. One, they either slam shut, and I sit bolt upright in bed at 2 a.m. thinking I'm about to fight something downstairs in my underwear.
Right.
I'm terrified. So when I was younger,
that's why I stopped sleeping in my SpongeBob pajamas, which my wife bought me one year.
So we grew up in the 80s. The idea of a home invasion, it was always going to be Jason Voorhees, or was Michael Myers?
Yeah.
One of those two is going to come in.
Easy.
And I would always think, how am I going to get away from them? Not fight them, because you can't, because they're just going to get up.
They just get
again.
up.
How am I going to get away from them?
Right.
Then when I hit my 20s and I was in reasonable shape, I was always, there was like a brief moment where I was like, I hope something comes in here.
Bring it.
Bring it.
I will kick your ass.
Now I've been thinking, it's probably going to come in when I have to pee.
Yeah.
And it's like, hold on, I'm not ready to fight for my life.
2, sometimes 3 times a night.
I'm not ready to just like fight for my life. I need to go pee. Let me come back in. Let me get my glasses on because I can't even see you right now.
Right.
Don't step. The dog is there. What are you doing? It's going to be this whole thing. So I am in no way equipped for home invasion.
Right.
But it happens. Not home invasion.
Well, no, they
do.
Yeah.
I hear they do happen. I've heard.
Yes.
But all this slamming and all this stuff going on, and then I my heart calms down because I know we're not that. The other side of it is when he doesn't slam all the cupboards shut, and then I come downstairs at 2 or 3 in the morning. As I wake up about 2 or 3 in the morning every night, I go potty. Sometimes I need more water.
I love how you're 45 years old and you still say you go potty.
And I will walk into the kitchen and all the cupboards are open. And I can't help but think of Paranormal Activity. Like what's about to happen? I'm expecting to see hoof prints and powder through the room.
Yeah.
So we've had a few discussions, but you need to quit looking at the iPad. Look at me in the eye. Stop slamming things. Okay. The next night,
yes, he goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I'm concerned. That's all I'm saying. I'm concerned. So I used to be concerned about smacking food and all that. Chew with your mouth shut.
Yes,
that type of thing.
I had that conversation tonight,
and I was always stop doing that. And they've naturally. Bess is like, you need to quit. You're annoying me now. Telling them to do. It's more annoying hearing you tell them to stop than it is hearing them do it. So they've just naturally stopped.
It's as if Bess and Libby are the same woman sometimes.
So they've
because Libby is also on me like, why do you keep telling them? Because I want them to learn how to eat.
But I always have to get the last dig in. So I remember one of the last times I said, I was like, okay, I guess the future girlfriend will tell him right before she breaks up with him.
Yeah, at prom.
At prom, he'll
be sitting there, hamburger falling out on the plate.
It's like, what the hell?
Wiping his hand on his sleeve.
But they've naturally, both him and Charlie have naturally, they don't do that anymore. So I'm proud of that. I'm wondering when the home invasions in the middle of the night are going to stop, because that's not going to go over well with the new wife way in the future, because you would never know that this is going to happen. And all of a sudden, Andrew just gets up in the middle of the night and starts slamming doors and stomping.
You know what Jacob does that I do not understand?
What?
It's time to go to bed. He gets up. He says, all right, guys, I'm going to go to bed. Good night. Love you. And he gives me a hug. He gives Libby a hug, and he goes upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. We go in our room, and Jacob gets done brushing his teeth or showering or whatever, and he goes, good night, guys. I'm like, okay, good night, Jacob. And okay. So then we always watch one episode of something before we go to bed. So we're 5 minutes into it, and you hear, good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. Like, good night, Jacob. And then 5 minutes later, all right, guys, good night. I'm like, good night. Go to bed. What are you doing, man? It's like, did you forget that you said good night to us for I mean, it's nice. Yeah. Some kids just go up and ignore their parents, and I get that. Yeah. And it's awesome that he's like, you know what? I want to make sure I say good night, but it's like, dude, you've said good night 12 times. Yeah. Oh, and do your kids talk in their sleep?
I don't think so. They did. Sometimes they sleep with their eyes open, like Gandalf in Return of the King. No, I've walked through they've been napping. Usually it's after they spend the night at your house or the friend's house.
Right.
They'll fall asleep on the couch because they've been up doing Minecraft or whatever the hell, weird, slamming cupboards over at your house,
doing speed.
They come home, and then they'll take a nap on the couch, and I'll walk through, and Andrew's eyes are just wide open, not wide open, like half open. Yeah. How's it going, bud?
Yeah.
It's eerie. It's exactly. I think of him every time we see Return of the King now. Yeah. Where Gandalf is sleeping with the Palantir, the ball.
Yeah,
and he's got his eyes open. Yeah, okay. I know that.
Okay,
I can't believe I
used
said
to know
that.
and I forgot.
I just said that like I'm rattling off the name of my dog.
Every time I see that, I think of the song "Crystal Ball" by Styx.
I can't think of the capital of Kansas, but I know that Gandalf is holding the Palantir.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah. So anyway, it was time for me to get the boys out of bed. So I'll go up and I'm like, hey, Jacob, come on, bud. It's time to get up. Get ready for school. Pike frog. I said, what? And he goes, is it a lovely tree frog with pike poison? And I'm like, and I'm loving this. I'm like, hey, buddy, what was that? And he's like, he looks at me. He's like, is that a lovely tree frog with pike poison on it? And then he realizes, what am I talking about?
Sounds like a line from Monty Python.
No idea. Is it a lovely tree frog with pike poison? Because I told Jacob, I said, listen, I need you to get up because I've got to run downstairs and write this down so that Daddy can put this in his podcast.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whompers all-beef footlong hot dogs. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I have a man-sized hunger. When I get a craving for hot dogs, the only hot dogs for me are Whompers. Whompers are made with 100% pure beef with no fillers and no preservatives. Whompers are perfect with chili, cheese, and onions, or if you're a woman, ketchup. Get a ruler and measure it yourself. If your Whompers hot dog isn't a foot long, they'll refund your money, guaranteed. Whompers, the official all-beef foot-long hot dog of the 2021 Summer Olympic Games.
So you do the same thing I do.
Yes.
Some stuff will happen to us. Like we were out this weekend, and that's like, you've got to put this in the podcast.
That's making it in the podcast. Yep. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I had two things happen this weekend that are making it into the podcast. The family, we went to Kings Island.
God,
this is our first time going to Kings Island this year.
Yeah. Okay. Are they? You have to wear masks there?
No. The sign
completely free.
Fully vaccinated people do not need to wear masks.
No. Do you have to show that you're fully vaccinated?
No, they can't require you to do that.
So it's just like nobody. It's free for all.
Honesty.
It's like dogs and cats living together.
They're hoping that people abide by the honor system. Okay. So anyway, we are in line for. We rode Mystic Timbers. We had a blast, and that took maybe half hour or something to get on Mystic Timbers.
Okay.
Cameron, who last year didn't want to ride anything has decided this year, I want to ride Diamondback. I want to ride Orion.
There you go.
I want to ride all these, big rides or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, so we get in line for Diamondback. Mm-hmm. Okay, you've ridden Diamondback.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun ride.
It's a very fun ride.
Yeah.
And the line...
Terrifying the first time.
Yeah. The line is hella long. We waited in line over an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. And the line is and you know how lines are. Okay.
They're linear.
They're linear, and it goes up, and then you take a left, and you go around the cattle corral and hang out a thing, and then you go down
under the cell phone graveyard.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're doing all this. Okay. So I'm in front, and then it's the boys and Libby's leading up the end.
By the way, to all our listeners, like not in the U.S. or not in Ohio,
Kings Island is
an amusement park.
Kings Island is a major amusement park in the United States.
And they're known for the roller coasters.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have some... the Beast is the world's fastest, longest...
It used to be...
wooden roller coaster.
Yeah. I think the Texas Giant beat it, but it used to for a long time.
It's still not the longest. The Beast still has the record for the longest.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we're in line for Diamondback.
Yeah.
And we're walking. I accidentally bump into a guy standing in front of me.
Oh,
and by bump,
boy.
I mean my elbow kind of touched his arm.
Here we go.
And I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bump into you.
Yeah.
That nothing was said.
No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. Nothing was said or something. We're walking a little bit more, maybe 15, 20 minutes pass.
Oh, boy.
And I'm talking to the kids behind me while walking. My foot taps this guy's foot. And I say, I'm sorry again.
Yeah.
We're walking a little bit more. Yeah. I'll be damned if I didn't bump into his arm a third time. And by bump, I mean
lightly tap.
I lightly. Yeah. Nobody was knocked off balance. Nobody spilled their drink. There was no jarring.
Yeah.
There was no bruise.
It wasn't to a violent state.
No.
It may have been a love tappy.
A light breeze would have been the equivalent of this. Okay.
A soft fart.
So we're going, and then we're almost at the end of the line. Mm-hmm. And for Diamondback, you go down these steps, and then you take a right.
Yeah.
Left there, and then you go up some steps.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I'm side by side with this guy now.
Okay.
He looks at me and he said, "Will you stand back?"
Okay, now hold on.
Oh no! Let me back up. Let me back up.
You need to describe this guy. Okay. I want a mental picture of this guy.
Let me back up.
Okay.
Because I forgot. The third time I bumped into him, Jacob said, "Oh, my dad hasn't taken his meds." Funny.
Yeah.
And I told Jacob, I said, "Hey, don't be telling people about my meds. Ha ha, whatever."
Yeah.
We're clearly joking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this time the guy says, "Will you stand back?" He is bald. He has a reddish beard.
Okay.
He has, I want to say, kind of a Dutch accent, maybe like he's from Holland.
Oh.
I couldn't tell where he's from, but he ain't from here.
Okay.
As we say in Ohio.
All right.
And he says, "Will you stand back?" And I just looked at him. I'm thinking the guy's kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've bumped into him.
Yeah.
And he says, "This is borderline harassment."
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And I'm like, I paused for a second, and I was smiling, waiting for the joke.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I'm warning you." And so I'm like, okay. And I step back.
Yeah.
And I let him go.
Yeah.
Because we're in a line.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Uh-huh. Now, there's all kinds of things that could have happened.
Yeah.
I could have said, "Oh, you're warning me."
Oh,
right.
That's one option.
I could have done that.
It leads to
and what happens if I don't abide by the warning? And I could have talked and I could have seen what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have done well. Uh-huh. I might not have.
Yeah.
I have my kids with me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to act like an in front of my kids. Okay.
Right.
I'm not going to get the crap kicked out of me in front of my kids.
Yeah.
And even if I win this fight, I don't want them watching me do that either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I'm wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers shirt.
There you
no
go.
matter what happens,
you don't want blood
when security
on that thing.
comes, they'll ask anybody else in line what happened. Well, that Steeler fan over there.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we just let him go. And then Jacob's like, what's going on? Just Jacob, I'll tell you about it a little bit,
Yeah.
I don't want this guy triggered anymore than he's already triggered.
So many options. If you were a hillbilly, if you grew up in a hillbilly.
Oh my God, if that happened in Johnson City, Tennessee, it would have been
what
down.
was that, Dad? Let me tell you what that was. That jackhole up there thinks he don't stink. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, well, here's the funny thing.
Okay.
So about 10 minutes passes, and we're on the steps on the way up to Diamondback. The guy behind me bumps into me. And he says, sorry, man, I didn't mean to bump into you. And I said, oh, no problem. People bump into each other all the time. It's not a big deal. We're cool. And then I look over at the dude, and he's shooting me this stare like, smart ass.
Yeah.
And so he gets on the ride. We made sure to get 4 or 5.
You don't want to sit right next to him.
No. Woo! Screaming holy hell the whole time.
Grab his hand on the way down.
So we got off.
Yeah.
And he went his way.
Yeah.
We
was
went
he by
ours.
himself or was he with somebody?
No, he got off the ride and went and met up with his wife or baby mama or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had a stroller with their kid, their baby, their toddler.
Okay.
And then they went on.
Yeah.
And I know he's like, that jackass harassment.
Yeah.
That's borderline harassment.
Borderline harassment. You know what? This wouldn't have happened if you'd had a Tool do-rag on. So they wouldn't have messed with you at all. They'd be like, okay, this guy's a bit off.
As soon as it happened, the kid's like, is that going on the podcast, Dad? I'm like, yeah,
that's going on the podcast.
Right, it's going on the podcast. But I'm like, I don't know what he's got going on.
Yeah.
But you know what? You never know when you run into somebody. I don't know what his life is like. I don't know what his backstory is. But whatever happened.
Yeah.
And if he's listening, I'm sorry I brushed into you.
I'm not
psychopath.
sorry. You're lucky Darin didn't cut you, because if I were there, I'd have cut you. Listen, this reminds me of a story.
Okay.
When Andrew was 2, we, and by we, I mean me and Bess, we're not the best parents in the world. We thought it would be a hoot to take him down to the WEBN fireworks thing at 4th of July.
Yeah.
Fanch, was inviting us down. So Fanch and Coburn. Right. Me and Bess. I think Coburn was there. I'm pretty sure he was. And me and Bess and Andrew. So Andrew is 2. A fun parenting tip. If you somehow still manage to listen to this show and think that it's about parenting or think it's about good parenting tips, you've lucked into one here.
Right.
Okay. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Right.
Yeah.
So here's a fun tip. Don't take your 2-year-old to the WEBN fireworks or any type of fireworks thing.
No, don't take them to Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. So you're on the shore of, I think we were on the Kentucky side. Mm-hmm. We were on the Kentucky side. You're elbow to elbow with a bunch of drunk, shirtless, I'll say it, heathens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're about to have fireworks, and we needed to get the best spot. When Fanch and I do something, we're always trying to get, right there in the thing. So we're right there in the thing. And it became very apparent after the first firework went off and Andrew started screaming that we'd made a terrible mistake. But where we were, you can't get out. But we got out. We start pushing our way through, and I'm pushing, my way.
The stroller?
No, we were carrying.
Okay, that's easy.
That was one good thing.
Yeah.
So, but basically, I'm going through. First, I'm making a path, and the Bess is coming after. So this guy starts flailing around. Okay. And his hand hit and hooked into one of Bess's earrings.
Okay.
And almost ripped it out of her ear. Like hit it enough to jerk her head around while she's carrying Andrew.
Right. So it's not intentional, but he's being a dumbass. It's
not intentional. And all of a sudden, he stops and he looks at me, and I've got a look. I've normally have a look in between confused and annoyed.
Right.
That's my resting. I have resting, confused, annoyed face. Yeah. It serves me well. It served me well in this instance because I just had that face on.
Right.
Which in that situation,
what did you just do?
Yeah, if you're a drunk redneck and you do that, and the husband, or what you would assume is the boyfriend at least, is giving you that look, you're like, I'm about to get hurt. He doesn't know that I'm a wimp and that I couldn't possibly hurt him.
Right.
But he did know that he got my attention. So he starts he starts apologizing profusely that he's drunk. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever had a drunk person apologize to you profusely.
They get really upfront. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, like he's grabbing on me, and I'm in fight or flight mode because I've got a 2-year-old who's screaming.
Yeah,
and we're using our hands against his ears so that because the fireworks are still going. Yeah. It's not like the guy shooting off the fireworks.
Hold on, we've got a kid.
Mike
are you guys cool?
There. Yeah,
can we the next one? 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Yeah,
I feel pressure on my left shoulder. And I look back, and there's a man who I can only describe as looking exactly like Dave Bautista.
Okay.
Drax.
Yeah, I know Dave Bautista is. Yeah.
And he is dead on staring at the guy that hooked Bess's earring.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me, because I looked around at him, and I know I peed a little. I know I did.
Right.
And he nods at me, and then he pushes his hand out and into the chest of the guy and just starts walking him back into the crowd. Like, I don't know where they went. I don't know what happened to the guy.
Right.
I'm positive that they don't know each other.
Right.
By the look of the eyes, the look in the eyes of the drunk guy told me they didn't come there together.
Right.
But they share some form of bond now. And I've always been thankful for. I never was able to thank that guy or anything. But me and Bess, after that, we made because it's like the crowd parted because they heard her. She screamed.
Yeah,
because of the pain, and Andrew's tearing, and Dave Bautista came through and shoving this guy.
Awesome.
So then we got it's almost like the Red Sea parting. Everyone parted, and we made it out of there, and we are on the way home. And Bess for the first few minutes talking about our ear, and then we're like. That was awful.
Yeah.
That was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
But
because see, I'm trying to remember the last time I had been in a fight, and if it had turned into a fight, I have no idea what would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have fought back. How would I have done? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's been forever, but I'm not macho enough to. I'll kick you.
I'm not that guy.
And again, I'm not going to do that in front of my kids.
Yeah.
I don't want to get beat up in front of my kids, and I don't want to beat somebody else up with my kids watching.
I'm old enough to know. Yeah. I'm old and wise enough.
Either way, the situation is not going to end.
So we've talked before. I agree with
we have.
Bill. Bill Burr had a bit where he said, he's now that he's over 40, he just I'll say this and see what happens.
Yeah,
I kind of have that. I kind of have that thing, but I have a thing with in terms of fighting. I think I'm wise enough to know that I know two conflicting things in my head.
Yeah,
one is most people don't expect you to actually fight. So if you actually punch them or you actually get right up in their face, most people will back down. I know that's one truth.
Yeah.
I know the other truth is that it's very easy for someone to hurt you to where you either lose your life or several of your abilities like sight or the ability to procreate.
Yeah, you get hit. You get hit things. One good time right up side the head of the temple. You're dizzy. You're down.
You forgot half your family for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So those two things can happen, and that puts me in a dangerous position.
Yeah.
If I'm in a situation like you were in, I'm thinking I could just barrel up to this dude and he'll probably shrink away,
right?
Or remove my ability to smell for the rest of my life. One of those two things.
But I'll tell you what, I was proud of what I did, and I told the boys,
that's great.
I said, look, any person who's willing to act like that, to physically warn somebody over something that small, that trivial, just let them go.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Their priorities are not in order.
They're not.
No.
They're absolutely not.
Yeah.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Planking with Jim. Join Jim Monday through Friday on the Facebook as he brings you the most entertaining live planking available anywhere on the internet. Watch Jim plank, hear his amusing stories, and every day one of his cats walks right in front of the damn camera. Now that's funny. So what are you waiting for? Get planking today on Planking with Jim. Jim Timmerman is not a licensed fitness instructor. Please plank at your own risk and always consult your doctor before beginning any exercise routine.
That reminded me, you were talking about the fireworks.
Yeah.
years ago, I was in a bar. I was at Gatsby's in Johnson City. And it was one of those nights where there was a gazillion people in there. It took 30 minutes to get a beer, to move up to the bar and to get.
Yeah.
And I got one for me and one for Chad and my two. And I turned around and I bumped into somebody.
You got a problem, man.
A problem. There's 1,000 people right there, And he goes, "Hey, buddy, you got a problem?" I said, "No, no, I do not." And I'm sorry I bumped into you. And I walked away.
Yeah.
I got out. So this was a good weekend for me.
Okay.
I went to Kroger.
Yeah, I want to. This is what I want to know.
Not the regular Kroger. I went to the other Kroger, the one on the big one off of the Michael A. Fox Highway.
Oh,
because I had to go by my eyeglasses place. It doesn't matter. So
the Kroger Marketplace.
Kroger Marketplace.
Okay, that's a special Kroger.
Yeah, I'm going down the parking lot and I see a spot.
Okay,
and there's a kid, an employee there, and he's running as like Forrest Gump running with 8 carts or buggies, whatever you call them, just running.
Just getting it.
Just getting it done.
He's earning his
And
money.
I see my spot, and I whip in there, and I pull into the spot.
Yeah.
I made sure I had my keys, and I had my phone, and I had my wallet, and I'm getting out of the car, and I close the door, and that guy is standing with the carts. He goes...
That's my natural reaction when I see you, too.
And I'm like... I looked at him, I said, "What?" And he realizes that I'm looking at him, and he's like, "That guy 4 spots down when I was bringing my buggies or my carts up, triggered his car alarm to go off, and it scared me."
Okay.
And I'm thinking, I didn't hear no car alarm go off.
He thought
I just caught you calling me.
Yeah. Didn't want to deal with that confrontation. He thought you were going to beat the sense out of him with your bald head and your goatee.
Exactly.
He thought you've either been in prison or something.
Me and my Charlie Brown T-shirt, I'm just going to kick his ass. So it was just, not a good weekend for me.
No,
I'm just running into common folk.
You're,
and I'm hoping when we go to Cleveland.
Oh, I'm sure there will be no confrontations at the Gojira concert.
I'm really hoping that it goes smooth.
I've been studying the pit at different Gojira shows, and it seems to be there's a large pit with a lot of violence, and then there seems to be smaller ones where people are just kind of swaying around. If we could get in a swaying one, I think
definitely
we'll be
want
okay.
to get a sway or just a standing.
I don't know that anyone stands.
Okay.
So I think we need to aim for at least a swaying one.
Okay.
Because I noticed that there's pockets up near the front where people are swaying, and then periodically one will randomly get pulled back into the what I would like to call Rob Zombie pit.
Oh,
actually, I'm kidding. They're not like that, but
right.
Let's talk about that after the show. It has nothing to do with the podcast.
The one other thing that happened to me over the weekend, and it's not on the rundown. I'm freestyling here.
Let's go for it.
I had my first.
Stories.
I had my first comedy show. And
I was afraid to ask you about it on the show because I don't know if somebody touched you or something.
No, nobody touched me.
Or you bumped into somebody up on stage.
Into anybody. I didn't piss anybody off.
Okay.
Everything. It was my first comedy show.
Were you funny? Be funny. Say something funny like you do.
Actually,
tell me a funny. Say something funny, man.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
When I got there, the place.
What was it? What was the venue?
The venue was an old church. I'm driving. I
don't know why that struck me funny.
Well, I've got the address in my GPS.
Okay.
And I'm driving. And then it says, your destination is on the right. I'm like, no, it's not. That's a church. So I drove past and I cut around and I went back the other way thinking I'm looking for a place that says name of the thing on the bill. Can't find it anywhere. So I called another guy I know or texted him and he says, yeah, it's at a church. Okay. So what they did was they rented out the top room of this church where they have
bingo.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where they have bingo. Or was it
a Catholic church or like a Baptist?
No. It was like an Episcopal church.
Okay. I'm not familiar. Yeah. So
I get there and I'm walking up and there's a guy working the front door and he said, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I'm here for the comedy show. And he says, are you a comedian? I said, yes, I am. He says, are you funny? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm hilarious.
Say something funny, man.
Yeah, I said,
say something funny right now.
I'm hilarious. He goes, okay. And I walked on, and there was
hell of security they got there.
It was a competition. There was
a comedy competition.
There's a comedy competition.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, this is getting interesting.
And it was sold out. There was like 50 some people bought tickets, and there were some walk-ups, and all the comedians got to vote for whoever they want, for 3 people or whatever. Yeah. So I'm going to say,
for yourself 3 times.
I did. Well, I voted for myself once.
Okay.
Because I voted for 3 people.
Okay.
And I voted for me and 2 people who I thought were the funniest.
Okay.
And so I'm saying there's probably 70 people who voted. I didn't win.
Okay.
I got 3 votes. I'm killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it at this comedy thing.
Yeah.
Killing it. Because I asked the person who ran it together, I'm like, hey, can you tell me how many votes I got, if any?
Yeah.
Because it didn't go well.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
And including yourself, your wife, and your kid? Yeah, 3.
I didn't know. I didn't bring anybody there.
So why didn't it go well? Explain to me.
I'm not going to be one of those comics who blames the room. Okay.
Okay.
I work clean on my comedy show.
Yeah.
There was 2 or 3 clean comics, and the rest of the guys did blue material.
In a church.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And you know what? The crowd loved them. They were funny.
Yeah.
And I wasn't what they were looking for.
Yeah.
I had 5 minutes, and I do 2 different routines. One is a bit about being married and having kids and this, and I compare being married to these TV shows, and I talk about Game of Thrones and Everybody Lives Raymond and why married people and whatever. And then I do another bit where I do a bunch of one-liners. Kind of, I'm not going to compare myself to how hilarious Stephen Wright or Mitch Hedberg were, but it's that type of joke. And I did one-liners, and some of them got laughs, some of them did not get laughs. Okay. But I got 3 votes. And hey, here's the kicker.
Yeah.
I didn't come in last. So that guy who got 1 vote could suck it.
So there's a comedian that you turned me on to who works clean. Nate
Bargatze.
Okay.
Holy crap.
I watched one of his shows and I was in pain. I was laughing so hard. It was an outdoor show.
Yes.
And
helicopters,
planes and stuff like that. So
he is so dry, and his pace is I don't know why that happened. So okay, there's that. Yeah. And I mean, my sides hurt, my face hurt.
Yeah, but I can see. So you take, you have that style of comedy, and then I loved, my favorite right now is Bill Burr. Yeah, I laugh so hard I'm crying. Yeah, and then you have kind of the ones that are, and he is not clean. No, he can be. That's he's kind of like he can when he's on Conan or
Bill Burr
back in the day.
What I admire most about Bill Burr is when he does his show, he cusses. He salt and peppers his bit because of his personality. Yeah, you can take all the language out of his act, funny. And he still has a routine. Yeah, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and those guys. Yeah, oh my God, get Quacker the Duck ready. Red Fox is like, if you can't. Okay, what are you going to do with that? Right? You take out all the cuss words out of that Red Fox routine, and you just have prepositions. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a good example. Like, Richard Pryor or,
and I'm not judging comics who work blue. I'm not. I don't do that. I'm not good at that.
Yeah, I've laughed myself silly at Richard Pryor. I'm just saying that if you are in a mood for Richard Pryor or stuff like that, right? I think it's harder for a comic that works clean to win you over. Nate Bargatze is one of them that can do it.
Brian Regan.
I'm not a big fan of Brian Regan. I haven't seen a lot of his stuff. God, I'm not a huge fan.
His newest routine,
but the Nate dude, Seinfeld, I've always liked. Well, I didn't in the beginning. I like Seinfeld now. Yeah. And you're going the other way. If you listen to a bunch of clean guys and then you throw somebody blue in there, it'll shock you.
Exactly.
But it'll still get you giggling.
Exactly.
As long as the material itself is innately funny, I think it's great. But in your situation, you're dealing with, and no offense, but you're dealing with a lot of what do you call those? Open mic night. Yeah. I don't look at you as an open mic night comedian. Okay. I see you as an actual comedian.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Because you're funny.
Oh, I appreciate that.
But,
Thank you.
And so when we saw you at open mic at the place, the Liberty
the Funny
Bell,
Bone,
the Funny Bone,
it was horrible.
Well, because you would get up there and you would say something about your kid. You're talking about the kids and like Colgate or something, and then the next guy, I don't remember what I went. I barely listened to your set.
Yeah,
but then the next guy gets up and says,
"Yeah,
yo," and there was another guy that was doing the same thing, but like in a really weird accent, and people were laughing themselves. So I caught myself laughing, but it's just because they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
But when I look at that, I think that person, if they make it, is going to have maybe one, maybe two comedy specials,
right.
And they're done. Whereas someone like you, or like the one that I've been listening to this past weekend, is not clean by any stretch of the imagination, but had me laughing so hard I was crying. Is Ralphie May? I've never heard him before.
Yeah,
I just got into him this past weekend, and I just randomly.
He died like 8 years ago, right?
Did he really?
Yeah, or even longer than that.
He's dead.
Yeah, Ralphie May's been gone for a while now. Yeah. He won season. Was it season? No,
Last Comic Standing, or something like that.
He either won.
Is he really dead?
Yeah, I'll have to Google it. I'm almost 100% positive Ralphie May is dead.
Well, okay, that's a big downer on the show.
In a recent survey, 98% of listeners download this show to hear Mike and Darin, and the rest are here to listen to me, Dave Lay. So this segment is dedicated to you, the 2%, who actually have some taste. For all of us at Irritable Dad Syndrome, thanks for listening.
The thing is, gourmet ice cream and gourmet chocolate. So we went to Loveland.
Okay, I've been to Loveland.
To the Plaid Room. By the way, sidebar, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Record Store Day.
Request for sidebar.
Yeah. Record Store Day is coming up again, and I follow everybody's records on Facebook, and they've decided that they're only going to do Record Store Day for a couple more times, and then they're going to quit. They're going to quit doing it.
Why?
I don't know. Something about integrity or something.
Do
like
they
that.
not want people coming into their store?
No, well, not for that, I guess. I don't know what it is. And I've read elsewhere that Plaid Room really does it up on Record Store Day. So this next Record Store Day, I'm going to go to the Plaid Room.
Okay.
Anyway, Plaid Room is in an area of Loveland that's inaccessible by humans, unless you park like half a mile away and walk in.
You have to go in on your robot.
It's obnoxious. So we decided as a family, we're going to spend the day that we Andrew had a football game in Loveland. So we're like, we're going to go. I get a chance to go to the Plaid Room. There was a restaurant there that Bess wanted to take us to, some burger joint. So we go there, and there's one of these gourmet chocolatey. I see all these people. We're eating burgers.
Right.
And I see all these people walking by with what look like bonbons.
I've been in that.
And I thought I want a bon. I never had a bonbon.
Yeah, they have gourmet chocolate and ice cream.
Yeah,
only like 8 flavors of ice cream.
Yeah,
in Lebanon, right?
Well, that's part of the problem.
Right,
it's part of the problem.
Right.
I grew up with Breyer's 31 flavors.
Baskin Robbins.
That too.
Remember in Blazing Saddles, Baskin Robbins one flavor. Yeah.
So, we're eating all that stuff. I'm going to go into the burgers. I want to go in I go in the Plaid Room to look. I'm looking for a Gojira. I want Magma or the Savage Child.
Gojira.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't have it. They just have the new one.
Okay.
So I look around. There's another band, Meshuggah. This has nothing to do with my story. I come out. I'm done in the Plaid Room. All right. Mm-hmm. I come out, and there, Bess is eating some ice cream. I'm like, where'd you get? She got it from the candy place. It's like, I want to go in the candy place. Of course, the reaction from the kids are because they just want to go. And Bess says
they didn't want to go in and get.
They've already gone in. They're just waiting for Dad to get out of his boomer store.
Oh, okay.
Dad's been in the vinyl store
because you're being a jerk.
Yeah,
and making everybody wait.
Yeah. So and Bess says lovingly, "Hurry up." So I go in there, and I'm excited.
That's where Olivia would go, no, you go in. That's fine.
Yeah, so,
that's fine. I'll just wait.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going into a gourmet chocolate and ice cream place, and I go in, and like you said, there's like 8 flavors.
If that.
Yeah. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. And I look at the candy, and it looks fine. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of put off by the fact that they only had like 8 flavors of ice cream.
Right.
I see banana. I'm like, I like banana. I like banana ice cream.
I like banana.
One of my favorite ice creams.
Okay.
So I order a banana ice cream. Would you like anything on it? I would like sprinkles. Rainbow or chocolate? Thank you for the choice. Rainbow. I'm an American. I want rainbow sprinkles. Save your chocolate sprinkles for somebody else.
Thank you for the
choice. I get my banana ice cream.
No wonder your family hates you.
I get my banana ice cream with the sprinkles. Now, everyone hearing this story is thinking of sprinkles right now.
$5.50.
Think of sprinkles.
Okay.
The texture of them.
Okay.
What they're like.
Okay.
There's no real taste.
I've got it in my head right now.
But it's like
sprinkles.
edible spongy plastic. That's what they are.
Sure.
Kind of.
Okay.
These things are hard.
Right.
And they're chalky. So I'm already put off. The banana ice cream is hard.
Okay.
It's difficult to get a beat. When I jab in there and it freeze, sprinkles go flying everywhere.
Oh.
I'm already not having a good time.
Right.
I bite into, and yes, I said bite. I bit into the banana ice cream, and it was okay.
Yeah.
And then I bite into the sprinkles, and I think, I'm going to break a tooth on these sprinkles.
1 star.
Not a good experience.
Right.
But it was in like this fancy container in there. And the flavor was written in this like calligraphy thing. And I think
art thou drinketh thy banana ice cream.
I think I paid like $12.50 or something for the ice cream.
Farted. Yeah.
And they have like the chocolate. You don't get a chocolate bar, it's chocolate bark.
Yeah.
And peanut butter bark.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've had this chip on my shoulder about gourmet chocolate and gourmet ice cream.
Right.
I don't like graters. That's right. I said it. People in Cincinnati, people in Columbus, the person across from me. I don't like graters. If you take me into graters, I'm probably not going to get ice cream, or I might get vanilla under duress.
Okay. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Is it because of the size of the chocolate chips, or is it the flavor of the ice cream?
It's the flavor of the ice cream. I just don't like it. I like Cold Stone Creamery a lot.
Okay.
I like Baskin Robbins.
Okay.
And Breyer's 31.
All right.
I like those.
Baskin Robbins 31 flavors.
Exactly.
Breyer's doesn't have the 31.
That's exactly what I said.
Okay.
But I can't stand the graters. I don't like it.
Okay.
I like their banana splits, but I only get those when I've given up.
See, I have a problem with graters. I freaking love graters.
If you surround me with graters ice cream, you'd be amazed at how well I can refuse ice cream.
Okay.
You put me into a Cold Stone Creamery, Katie bar the frickin' door.
Right.
I'm getting the banana ice cream. This is my jam.
Okay.
Banana ice cream with the chocolate chips and walnuts. Okay.
God, walnuts. You and your damn walnuts.
They're wonderful. Here's the thing.
When my father was alive,
Yeah.
he came up and we took him to Grater's Ice Cream. He'd never been in before. He orders a double scoop of strawberry. Okay.
Yeah.
So a double scoop is easily a half gallon of ice cream.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
Dad's got his 2 gigantic honking scoops of not only strawberry, chocolate chip, strawberry ice cream, right? Yeah. I go and I get some napkins for the kids and a thing of water. I come back, Dad's done.
Yeah.
Dad. I was like, Dad, you want to slow down a little bit? He's like, what? It was gone.
So
like, yeah.
So I'm crazy enough to have been on internet forums arguing about chocolate.
Sounds like you.
I've done that. Because I'll say, for a long time, my favorite chocolate was Hershey's.
Okay.
It still kind of is.
What's wrong with
some
Hershey's?
Factory and you need to get the Swiss or the something made
screw
by
them.
a cobbler who lives in a hobbit hole in Geneva or wherever, and he's from a cow that speaks French.
Hershey's is the Cadillac of chocolate.
It is. And and my new chocolate is Cadbury's. The Cadbury's mini eggs.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus. And here's the thing. I've got multiple stories that come from this, but I want to finish the gourmet.
Okay.
Now, I've had chocolate given to me by chocolate snob. I've been at restaurants with chocolate snobs, fancy restaurants. I wasn't paying. I'll leave the story there.
Okay.
And I could get whatever I want. Here's the best chocolate flown in on a thing made by a guy who did the stuff. With milk from a cow that speaks French. This is the best chocolate ice cream / thing that you can have. And I've taken a bite and been like,
I hear you. I hear you.
I've been to the places where these things come from, had those experiences, and been like, wow, this is the greatest chocolate known to mankind.
Yeah.
And I bite into it, and I'm like, And then I go get a Hershey's bar, and I'm like, this is freaking orgasmic.
Yeah. I agree.
So the hell with your gourmet crap.
Yeah.
And
stick it.
Breyers, there's sometimes Breyers, I'll go get Breyers from Kroger's right now.
Yeah.
And it's better than anything in Graters.
Yeah.
I know that's ticking people off. I don't care.
Okay. Well, it's your opinion, and you're allowed to have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other piece of this.
Just like I have opinions, and I'm allowed to have those, Mike.
That's true. Even if they're wrong.
Waiting for that.
Here's the thing.
Attached
to this, I told you that my new favorite chocolate is Cadbury Mini Eggs.
You told me that, yeah.
Okay. So our listeners may not know about Cadbury Mini Eggs. Walk down this road with me a bit.
Walking.
Everyone knows the Cadbury egg. That's the one the weird kid in your class would get and would get excited about in the foil and bite into the chocolate.
Yeah.
And some kids would just keep eating it, and some kids would be gross like me and stick their tongue down in and get the ooze.
Yeah.
Some people would get a fork and a knife like I did in my older days, like a couple of years ago, and cut it and excise the goo and eat it separately, or dip the chocolate into the goo. However you eat your Cadbury egg is your business.
Right.
And then I would see the Cadbury Mini Eggs in my unenlightened state. And I would say, what's the point of those? There's no goo.
Right.
Here's what I have found.
Okay.
In the past year, I've become addicted to Cadbury Mini Eggs. They have wonderful sugar coating. And if you bite it just right, it cracks and shatters and falls away from the chocolate. You can eat that separately. And then you've got the Cadbury chocolate, which I've come to know and love. Okay? Now, the problem with those is that if you go to the store, you can only get them around Easter.
Right.
I've been ordering them online from Amazon.
No way. Oh, you can order them all year long?
Yeah. I just ordered another batch. They're coming in on Friday.
Well, see, I've got to get on Amazon because my favorite is the Reese peanut butter eggs.
Okay.
The ones that they sell at Easter.
Yeah.
Because those have pure raw crack cocaine in them.
They do.
Compared to the Reese peanut butter cups. I don't know why the peanut butter eggs taste 5,000 times better than the peanut butter cups, but they do.
Yeah.
And I will fight you if you try to come between me and my peanut butter cups. Now, you're talking about gourmet chocolate, and I agree with you. It's like, I don't want a $4 piece of chocolate. It's like whenever you go to Gatlinburg, you go to the places that sell the homemade fudge and you get the $7 piece of fudge. I don't want to get that. But I'll tell you something that I will get again. Yeah. Last week we were talking about payday candy bars.
Yeah.
And how if you eat the candy corn and salted peanuts at the same time, it tastes like a payday.
Yeah.
I found out they make chocolate covered paydays, and each bite has just a little bit of heaven in it. They are so good. Yeah. I was very skeptical, but it is a stupid, delicious.
That's like chocolate covered heroin.
Yes.
It's good enough, but then you put chocolate.
I was totally fine with the payday candy bar. There's no need to mess with it. Why are you putting, I sound like Ray Romano, why are you putting the chocolate on the payday when it doesn't need to? All you have to do, but here's so, yeah.
Here's the thing I want to tell you about. I just looked up the Reese's peanut butter eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. You can get a 38-ounce bag for $26. Or if you're hardcore, you can get a store display of 36 Reese's eggs for $40 right now. It'll be at your house 2 days from now.
Wow.
And it's expensive because I ordered the bags. I've got the bags of the mini eggs. It's $18. It's $6 a bag. Now, when Easter's around, they're like $3 or $2 a bag.
Right.
But these are difficult times.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a man needs. You know what?
I think it's bullshit.
I don't
that these companies cut that. They could make so much money if Cadbury had a year-round thing. Don't make it an egg. Call it something else.
I know.
Or like Reese's, they could just have different shapes.
Sell them all year long.
They could have a summer shape.
No.
You want it to be an egg?
No, it's got to be the egg.
Okay.
Because they try to do the Reese's Christmas trees, and the Christmas tree looks like a dog turd, and it doesn't taste as good as the egg.
Okay.
Just call them Reese's peanut butter eggs
or mounds. Reese's peanut butter mounds or
because that's confused with the mounds
door stops.
Mike, shut up. It's the Reese's peanut butter egg. Just sell the Reese's egg all year long.
Cow patties.
And see, I don't smoke cigarettes. Okay, I don't have an alcohol problem. I don't have a drug problem. But when I get stressed, I will sneak and get some chocolate. I'll get sweets, whether it's a Little Debbie snack cake, which I am addicted to.
Okay.
I have a problem with Little Debbie snack cakes, especially the Swiss rolls. I have a problem with Swiss rolls. I have a problem with the Reese's peanut butter eggs, and Libby does too. And I'm hoping that the kids aren't listening to this episode because we buy those and we hide them from the children.
Yeah, I hide my Cadbury mini eggs from the kids. I can't hide my Klondike bars And I would catch.
Keep them in the freezer. You got some in the freezer right now. I saw
do.
this when I got ice
I would
water.
catch Andrew eating in the middle of the night. And you talk about
an ass whooping.
Yeah, it's coming.
All right, well, guys, listen, we're going to wrap the whole episode up. This is number 40.
This has been an
episode
worthy of the moniker of 40.
Okay, I think so.
After this, the podcast is over the hill.
Right. Well, what I want to do is I want to encourage people at home listening to have an Irritable Dad Syndrome drinking game. And whenever Mike says the thing, when he clearly means like the conveyor belt or put it in the tank or put it on top of the refrigerator, when he says, take the thing and take a shot whenever Mike says the thing, when he can't think of a word. And when he says put the thing on the thing, just throw back 2.
That's finish whatever drink you're drinking.
You will be hammered. So I encourage you to take the Irritable Dad Syndrome drinking game challenge. Yeah.
We should make a bingo game. A YouTube mention.
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine gets brought up all the time.
I know.
Gojira. Gojira will be the little free thing in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, guys, we want you to subscribe to the show.
Yes.
Go to our website. If you want to listen to previous episodes, they're all there, irritabledadsyndrome.com. And we want you to leave a review. And if there's anything that I've done or Mike's done that you thought was funny, or if you're a big fan of our announcer, Dave Lay, who I'm a super big fan of.
Dave Lay's a badass.
Let us know. We really appreciate all your input. And once again, we appreciate you listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome. We hope to see you next week.
This has been the Irritable Dad Syndrome. We appreciate you not getting sick. Thanks for listening. This is a test of the emergency IDS broadcast system. This is only a test. This is a test of the broadcast stations in your area. If this had been an actual emergency, you would have heard official information, news, or instruction. This concludes this test of the IDS emergency broadcast system.